So recently I finished my first ever Warhammer 40k army, which was 1,000 points of Black Templar. So naturally, I want to start a new army. And I think I'm going to go with the Chaos Space Marines. The guys are incredible. I've had these Terminators built up for a while, and I just think Chaos Space Marine models look so cool. They've got this like such distinct features of the big spikes and all the chainmail and like the skulls. They're so like heavy metal, and they just look so unique and awesome. And some of the other models just look unbelievable. So I'm going to go with some Chaos Space Marines. But the only issue is the typical Black Legion colour scheme is a little bit too close to Black Templar for me. I don't want two armies that are just like base black with some extra details. I want two distinct different looks. So what we're going to do over the next couple of weeks or so, we're going to do a short series where we try out different colour schemes on Chaos Terminators to see if we can find a colour scheme that we can put into a whole army so it looks different enough from Black Templars. And with this first video, we're going to kick off with this dude, and we're going to paint him as a word bearer. So we're going to get some Khorne Reds, some silvers and all sorts, and see how that looks. And then at the end of the series, once we've done like four or so, we'll compare them all, see if we can pick a colour, and then we can start our Chaos Space Marine army. And here we are, our Chaos Space Marine Terminator, all primed up in Ghoul Grey. It's the Colour Forge like grey primer. And it's looking really good. And this is what I mean about the Chaos Space Marines. The models are so cool, like these huge spikes, like the chains everywhere, the cloth and the skulls, even like the shoulder pads got like bones and stuff breached out of it. I absolutely love them, they're awesome. So, like I mentioned, we're going to kick these off with word bearers today. So we're going to see what a word bearer colour scheme looks like and if we like the look of it. So we'll start off with a base of Khorne Red on all of the armour panels, and then a light silver, which is my brightest is Oily Steel from AK, for all of the trim. Just going to go with a bright silver because eventually we're going to wash the whole model in Agrax Earthshade. So I want to see what like a bright silver looks like, really heavily washed down. But kick things off with, yeah, that base of Khorne Red over all of the panels, and then silver on the trim. Sweet, and there's the base colours done on the red armour and the oily steel metallic trim. I also slapped on some Zandri dust on some of the like tusks and bones and spikes all over him. And yeah, man, it's looking good. So I really like how it looks. Like this big red, bold, bright mini is awesome. Like it's so different to what I've done before. I've not done anything red, like predominantly red. Obviously I've done red features, but this big, huge, bright, bold mini looks awesome. Like obviously I was painting it and I'd like go to grab a drink, and as I come in I could like see it on my desk from across my office, and it's just so like in your face and so like stand out-ish. So already scoring points on that front because I think that'll look great on the tabletop, you know, like I'm standing across the battlefield and 50, 60 inches over to the north I see like this bright red blob of minis, like that'll look cool. I forgot how awkward painting Space Marine armour is because I'm so used to using contrast on my Black Templars. It's easy to like slaver on the base coats, so I forgot how hard it is painting like base, what's Khorne Red, is it a layer paint or like a, yeah, base paint. There's so many little sections I've missed, like even now I'm looking, I'm like, oh, there's like a tiny gap there, or the silver trims overlaid into like the armour. So yeah, a little bit messy, not my cleanest model, but it's only the second Chaos Space Marine I've ever painted, so I'll get better at it. Which just quickly is one thing I love about Warhammer in a way, like it's so funny, like you can spend months learning how to paint one model or one faction, and you go to another one, and sure, you've got some transferable skills, but it's kind of cool to like start fresh, and it's like, oh, I'm starting the hobby new again. Like there's still things I need to remember and relearn or pick up from different factions. So it's cool. There's an endless like pool of just fun. But like I mentioned, 3 colours done, looking pretty good. I mean, that's solidly like 90% of the model. Like, there's still a couple of details, but the silver and the armour covers so much of it, and it will definitely like, once we add the Agrax Earthshade on later, I think that'll bring it all in together as well. It'll look really good. But moving on from that, we're just going to fill in some of the details. So it's got some cloth, some bone, it's got these spikes on top, and then there's still some more metallic bits to do. Sweet, and that's all of the base colours done, and it's looking pretty good. So yeah, I do like the vibe of the red, the silver, and then all of these like bone details and some black cloth. Yeah, it makes like a cool image. I'm a big fan of it. So, oh sorry, we haven't done the gun actually, just quickly. We're going to do some Nuln Oil on that. It's going to be a different wash. So I'm going to do, what we're going to do next is we're going to put Agrax Earthshade over all of the model, and then while that's drying, I'll just do the gun, because this is going to be Nuln Oil, not Agrax Earthshade, so we can be a little bit optimal and save some time and work on that while this all dries. But right before we do the Agrax Earthshade, we've just got this little Space Marine helmet, and this is one of my favourite things on the Chaos Terminators specifically. I love the trophies for other like models. It's almost like a world building thing. It's proper like you can like tie stories in and be like, he's got like the trophy of like maybe your friend's army or something, or like probably makes him feel part of the whole universe. It's really cool. So what I'm actually going to do for this thing is I'm going to paint it Imperial Fist yellow. I was going to do it black for like the Black Templars, so it's like kind of like my two armies are fighting each other. But I've already got a big black cloth, and I don't think the black and the red looks like great. So I'm going to do Imperial Fist yellow, because if I'm not wrong, the Black Templars are a successor chapter of the Imperial Fists. So it still kind of ties that story together, but also makes like a nice bright bold yellow, because yeah, there's a lot of dark colours already, so I want something popping at the top. So we'll put some Imperial Fist yellow on the helmet, and then we'll just, yeah, dunk the whole model, Agrax Earthshade, top to bottom. And what that will do is it will darken down all the recesses in the armour, and then once it's dried, we can go back and we can relayer some Khorne Red on some of the flatter surfaces, avoiding the recesses. So we'll just get some Khorne Red for like these panels, maybe down the middle a little bit, and just build up the layers, but leaving the recesses all dark and grimy and dirty. Right, so there's all of the Agrax Earthshade applied, and I've just done the gun as well, so just waiting for that to dry. But while that is drying, I will say, this new pot of Agrax Earthshade I brought, so I had to go out and buy another one, really, really nice. Applies really well, nice and thin, not too clumpy, because the last one I had was this tiny little pot, and I've been using the dregs in the bottom for so long, and I didn't realise, like, it was a bit thick and clumpy and not that great, so I'd been off Agrax Earthshade for a while, and I didn't realise it's because, yeah, this pot was old and gunky and not that great. But now I've got this new fresh pot, it's all smooth and nice. It's looking really, really good. So I'd be keen to get back on the Earthshade hype. I've been avoiding it for a while, but yeah, just good to update the paints. Also, I've had a realisation. I'm putting in all of this work on this guy. It's looking really good. I'm going to do this like 3 more times. I'm going to do, like I mentioned, a Knight Dude, maybe an Alpha Legion, and I think like a slap choppy version of Black Legion, see if I can like a lighter, grayer Black Legion scheme. But yeah, I'm going to put in all this effort, and like 4 of them are going to get stripped and undone anyway, because like the whole point of this is to find a colour scheme I like to use going forward. And one of the big things I wanted out of a Chaos Space Marine army is I really want a squad of 5 Terminators and a Abaddon, and just deep strike them on the back of the enemy lines in turn 2 or something like that. It'd be really, really cool to have that like bundle. So I'm going to need to paint all of these Terminators one colour, and the colour scheme we decide on. So putting in all this work and they're just going to get stripped and undone. It's kind of a shame, but I am really enjoying it. It's really, really cool to try some new colours and new schemes, and it's going to, I don't want to call it already, but this is looking cool. We'll just wait for the Agrax Earthshade to dry, and then we'll do what I mentioned. We'll get some Khorne Red, really thin it down and apply it to some of the flat middle areas. So that way there's a nice bright Khorne Red in the middle and the recesses are all dark and dirty. And also might do that with the silver as well, because it's kind of dulled it down quite a bit. So I might get some more of that oily steel and just kind of try and do some edge highlights, do some trims and some whatnot, and brighten up a little bit. You know what? I've been relayering up some of this silver, and I think I actually prefer it without the relayering, just the straight grimy, streaky Earthshade silver. So you can see if I grab, there we go. So this right side over here on the glove, this I kind of relayed some of the silver on. I did some on the shoulder pads up here. This looks okay, and a lot down here on the legs. Yeah, like here. And I'm not a massive fan, you know. I kind of prefer it if we switch to this side where I've not touched it. Yeah, like this, like the real grimy, like dirty in the recesses. I think I prefer this. It looks quite good. And what I've done actually, I've just as a little test, because I mean, at the end of the day, this whole model is just to try out some new colours and learn some things and see what we like. So if it's a bit mismatchy, it's all right. But on the back here, I've done a bit of a relayer here, and then none at all. And yeah, I kind of prefer this grimy dirtiness rather than the stark, bright silver. Some sections it looks quite good, I think. Like on this knee down here, some of the layering here is not too bad, but overall, I think I might just leave it. So like on this chest area down here, I've done none of it. Like, this is quite grimy. I've relayed a bit here, it's a bit much. Basically, I've kind of done this side of the model quite a bit, and I've not touched this side as much. And yeah, but yeah, I kind of prefer just this grimy, dirty section. So you know what? I might just leave it there. I'm really happy with the armour though. Like, that looks really good. Like, I can see, yeah, just like this section here. So we've like relayed some Khorne Red down the middle, but this like recesses here. Maybe the light's actually hurting it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. We just lower the lights quite a bit. It's a bit. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see on these flat panels with a big light. But yeah, you can kind of see in the recesses here, it's still a little bit dark and grimy, especially on this back section here. Yeah, like this flat bit's nice and bright where we've relayered some Khorne Red, but in the recesses it's nice and dark and dingy. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. It's just the silver's a little bit, not sure. Maybe I've not watered it down enough or layered on too much, but I think overall I might just leave it this grimy colour, and then in the future, if we do stick with word bearers, just, yeah, leave it oily steel, Agrax Earthshade. So yeah, there's all the stuff now really. It's just a couple little highlights on the odd details. So like some of these bones and these skulls, I need to slap some like Ushabti bone on. So like his tusks, there's some little teeth along the edge of the armour. We'll slap some Ushabti bone on there for some highlights. There's not much else actually. I'm not going to bother with... Oh, we need to highlight the gun as well. We need to slap some Nuln Oil and just do some like grey highlights on the gun. That should be alright. And then also do some eyes. But yeah, only a couple little details left. I don't think I'm going to bother with a base, just because, like I said, there's a high chance that these things might all get stripped. So I'll just paint like grey on the base or something, just to bring it all together. But I won't bother putting a fancy base on. And here he is, our word bearer Terminator. Man, what a good looking model. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. I love the colour scheme. I do like the reds and the silvers. It's not the tidiest model I've ever painted, not the best, but the whole purpose of this video was to just try out a new colour scheme, see how we feel about it, to see if it's one we want to use going forward. So the fact there's like a couple little mistakes, it's not the tidiest, I'm not too bothered about. And the main focus of this was to see if we like this colour scheme, and I've got to say I do like it. Like, I like how bold it is, how like in your face, like I mentioned earlier, it looked really cool on the tabletop, just like far away like that, just bright and bold. Yeah, super happy with it. I'm really, really glad the armour turned out the way it did. Like the nice recessed shading, but the bright colours in the middle and the Agrax Earthshade. Yeah, I really, really enjoy it. I guess just to go over the model specifically, like standout points, yeah, like I mentioned, that armour highlighting is really good. I like the difference between the brighter silver on like the trim and the pipes around the back here, but then like the darker silver from the gunmetal. So I don't know if you'll ever be able to see it, but you can kind of make it out like the blades on this this chainsaw are a lot darker than the grimy, dirty, oily steel. And similarly on these pipes on his chest, like they're a bit of a darker, the pipes themselves. I think I did his little face gas mask a little bit darker as well. That's good. I'm liking the variation in colours. Also, just while we're on the face, a tiny note, I'm really happy with these eyes, you know. They were just Incubi Darkness and Sotek Green, just because they're like the greenest colours I've got. Like, I've not got any other greens, to be fair. But no, I think they've come out real clean and real tidy. I didn't edge highlight his face too much, just because I didn't really have the colours. I think it's like a Wasgar or was something red that you're supposed to use that I haven't got at the minute. It's on the way. So I would have done edge highlight his face. But for the armour, I didn't edge highlight any of it, just because in the future we're going to do some Night Lords, some Alpha Legion, and I think some Black Legion as well. And they're very much like highlighting the trim of the armour. So what I kind of wanted to do for this one is just try out a dark recess in the armour and a sort of a brighter colour in the middle. Kind of like the inverse, you know. I didn't want to do like 4 minis all the same like base and then trim, highlight and such. So I just wanted to try out something a little bit different. And I like how it looks, it's cool. It saved a bit of time as well, you know. It wasn't too awkward to like edge highlight the entire model. It was just base colours and then a shade and a thing. So that's I guess a perk for this scheme is the time it took was quite quick. I did show it to one of my friends before I filmed this, and he mentioned it could be like a Red Corsair as well, because Games Workshop have just announced that new dude on Christmas Day. So to be fair, this scheme could work twofold. You could kind of say either word bearers or spin it a little bit into some Red Corsairs, so a lot of versatility. But no, really, really happy with it. Looks really good, and potentially could be a favourite going forward. I do like it. I guess while we're here in this like review station, it'll be a good chance to show off what I meant about the whole like army colours and why we're doing this whole video. So if we take these models here, let's remove our new dude for now. So yeah, I did paint this Black Legion Terminator a little while ago, and you can kind of see there's quite a similar vibe into with the Black Templars. Like, I know it's not the same, there's a lot more gold, this is a lot darker, and there's some different features, but like the whole vibe of the sort of black armour with shiny details and stuff, they're just a bit too similar. Like, I don't want 2 armies that are the exact same. I want like some like difference, you know, I want some variety. So this is the whole point why I'm doing this video, is so I can see if I can try and find a recipe that is different enough so they're not just like so similar. So I guess if we switch this dude out and then put the word bearer back in just to sort of compare them all. Yeah, look at that. We'll do a proper comparison of everything at the end of this series. I want to do a few more videos before we start getting into the nitty and gritty. But just as a glance, yeah, this is quite good. I guess the only criticism I could find if we compare these word bearer to a Templar is there's a lot of red on the Templar with like the cloth and the ribbons, and they use, I guess, red weapons if we grab out this Hellblaster as well. So yeah, I guess it's a similar sort of red vibe, but I mean, every colour scheme is going to have some comparisons, so I can't be too nitpicky. But so far, it is definitely varied enough from the other army. Like, look at the difference here. Like, this is a big difference. So yeah, definitely getting that desired effect I want. And I'm keen to go forward and try some more. And here he is, the first in our line of Chaos Terminator test models, the word bearers, and I'm really happy with this. You know, it looks really, really good. I'm not going to lie, when I first looked at recipes and colour schemes, the word bearers weren't at the top of my list of excitement. I was like, meh, they seem okay. The main reason why I did them is because I've not used red as a primary colour before. It's been like Black Templars, Space Wolf Greys and stuff, so I thought this would be really different, so I'll just try it out. And you know what, I'm glad I did, because it looks really cool. I like how bold and in your face it is, and I've mentioned it like a million times, but I do think they'll look really good on the battlefield, like across the table, like really stand out-ish. So yeah, really happy with this, and I'm keen to do some more colour schemes. So I think, yeah, we might do Night Lords next, which I have a sneaky suspicion might probably be the one we end up with, just because it looks really cool. Like, everyone online says it's their favourite, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I can see why they look really, really cool. So I've got this dude here. Little Chaos Terminator with some claws. He'll probably be like a Night Lord. I'm not sure when. I want to do this as sort of like a small side project alongside my Black Templar army. Like, I'm enjoying being like, I've got the Dreadnought at the minute, actually. We can do a little sneak peek. Yeah, so I've been painting this Dreadnought so far. I think this will probably be next week's video. But this has been a big, huge, cool project. And I quite like the idea of having a massive main army project and then a little side project where it's like, oh, I've got some spare time and I fancy a palette cleanser. Let's work on the Chaos Space Marines. So this is what this series is going to be, I think. A real nice like, little side project palette cleanser. Maybe if I have extra time for an extra video during the week, or just like, I fancy something different. So I'm keen to crack on with it. But if you've enjoyed this video and you're keen to see more Chaos Terminator colour schemes, drop us a subscribe. And as always, like the video and thank you for watching. Bye!